Hey everyone, welcome to this guide on MEG-03 British novel, another fascinating paper from IGNOU MA English program. If MEG-01 taught you the music of poetry and MEG-02 brought you the power of the stage, then MEG-03 introduces you to the world of stories, characters and emotions that define British fiction. In this video, we will explore what this paper is all about, how the British novel evolved from the 18th century to the modern age, who the major writers are, and what ideas their work expresses. So let's begin our journey through the page of time. So let's start from MH03 all about. This paper British novel traces the development of the English novel from its beginning in the 18th century up to the 20th century. It shows how novels evolved as a reflection of society, class, gender, and morality. Through this course, you will study the birth of the English novel, how characters and plots mirror real life, how authors use fictions to question values, politics, and emotion. In short, MH03 tells the story how the novels become the voice of the common person in British literature. Now, structure of the paper. The paper is divided into 5 blocks, each covering different novelists, literary style, and centuries. Let's look at them one by one. Block number 1. The rise of the novel in 18th century. This is where it all began, the foundation of the English novel. The early 1700s saw a major change. Stories were no longer about kings and gods but about ordinary people and real life. You will study Daniel Defoe, Moll Flanders, a story of a woman who struggles, sins and survives in a tough society. Defoe focuses on realism, survival and morality. Samuel Richardson, Pamela, told through letters, it's about a servant girl, virtue, and her resistance against exploitation. It marks the rise of the sentimental novel. Next, Henry Fielding, Tom Jones, a comic novel full of adventure, humor, and social commentary. Fielding presents life as a mix of goodness, folly, and fun. This block focuses on how novels started capturing real human experience. Block number 2, the 19th century novel, early to the mid-Victorian. Now the novel becomes the mirror of society. The Industrial Revolution, class struggles, and moral questions dominate this era. Here are some key writers. Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice, a witty and romantic story exploring love, class, and marriage. Austen's irony and insights makes her a master of social realism. Now let's talk about Charles Dickens. Great Expectations, a journey of the personal growth, ambition, and social injustice. Dickens criticizes inequality and the illusion of wealth. This block highlights realism, morality, and social awareness, the heart of Victorian fiction. Now move to the block number 3, the later Victorian novel. By the late 19th century, writers began questioning rigid morality and exploring deeper psychological and moral issues. Here are some important authors. Thomas Hardy, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, a tragic tale of fate, cruelty, and society's cruelty. Hardy exposes the hypocrisy and Victorian moral standards. George Eliot, Middlemarch, a realistic portrayal of provincial life, ambition, and idealism. Eliot brings intellectual depth and moral questioning into fiction. This block shows the shift from simple storytelling to complex psychological realism. Now move to the block number 4, the modern novel, early 20th century. The 20th century changed everything. 2 world wars, new philosophies, and the rise of the modernism. The old certainty vanished and the novel became more psychological, fragmented, and experimental. Here are some major writers. James Joyce, A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man, a deeply introspective novel about identity and creativity. Joyce uses themes and consequences, showing thoughts as they flow. D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers, a sensitive study of family desire and emotional conflict. Lawrence explores human instincts and relationships openly. This block explores inner life, how people think, feel, and search for meaning. Now move to the block number 5, the contemporary British novel. Now we reach the post-war and modern era, where authors reflects on the changing world identity, politics, freedom, and alienation. Here are some key writers. Virginia Woolf, To the Lighthouse, a poetic explorations of time, memory, and perceptions. Woolf gives voice to the inner lives of her characters. William Golding, Lord of the Files, a dark allegory about civilizations and savagery. Golding shows how quickly order collapses when rules disappear. This block shows the modern fiction is not just about stories, it's about meaning and human nature. Here are some major themes in this British novel. Throughout MEG-03, you will see these recurring themes: individual versus society. It means how personal desire clashes with social expectations. Love, morality, and class, from Austen's romance to Hardy's tragedy. Psychological depth, the inner thoughts and emotions of characters. Change and modernity, industrial growth, science, and shifting values. search for identity, especially in modern and postmodern fiction. Each novelist uses fiction not just to tell a story but to ask questions about life, values, and truth. So let's talk about what you will learn from MEG-03. By completing this paper, you will be able to understand how the English novel developed from 1700s to 1900s, identify the main literary movements behind each period, analyze characterizations, narration, realism, and symbolism, see how history and society shapes storytelling, appreciate the art of novel writing as the both entertainment and philosophy, and you will realize that the novel is not just a story, it's a social document and an emotional map for human life. Now let's talk about how to study MEG-03 effectively. Number 1. Start with summaries, then read key chapters of the novels. Then, note the time period. Every novel reflects its era. It focuses on themes and symbols. They appear often in exam. Compare authors, for example, Austen's realism and Lawrence's emotion. Number 5. Use past papers to practice long answers on theme and characterization. Remember, every novel in this paper tells the story of its age socially, morally, and emotionally. Now let's talk about why MEG-03 is most important. MEG-03 forms the backbone of your MA in English. It connects literature to life, showing how fiction mirrors reality. It prepares you for deeply literary analysis in future papers like MEG-04, MEG-05. Most importantly, it makes you a better reader and thinker, someone who can see beyond the plot and understand the soul behind every story. So that's a complete overview from MEG-03 British novel, from Defoe's realism, Woolf's streams of consequences. This paper takes you through 3 centuries of storytelling, showing how the novel grew with human civilization. It's not just a course about books, it's about people, emotions, and the ever-changing human heart. So keep reading and imagining and let the stories of MEG-03 guide you through the beautiful journey of the British fiction. So that's it from MEG-03 video. Bye bye, take care.